was the beginning of their second year at the University of Nigeria and Nsukka. The rainy season had painted the campus with vibrant greens, and the scent of wet earth filled the air. Students moved between faculties in colorful attires, laughter and chatter echoing around the lecture halls. Amara Okoye, a reserved but brilliant mass communication student, preferred to keep to herself. Her world revolved around her books, her two close roommates, and the occasional evening walks around the Faculty of Arts garden. It was on one of those walks that she met Chidi Nabuife. Chidi was everything Amara was not: outspoken, effortlessly charming, and popular across campus, especially among female students. They were both mass communication students, making them cosmates. Though Amara had barely noticed him during their first year, his name was always on people's lips, either for his academic brilliance or his enviable fashion sense. But there was something more, a depth in his eyes that Amara noticed when he greeted her casually that evening. "Hi, I've seen you around. You always walk here after lectures. Mind if I join you?" Amara hesitated. She wasn't used to boys approaching her casually, especially not ones with Chidi's reputation. "I'm fine, thank you." But Chidi didn't give up easily. For the next 2 weeks, he showed up, always a few feet behind her, making light conversation, slowly breaking down her defenses. And then one afternoon he said, "Can we be friends, Amara?" She didn't answer immediately. It took 3 more days and one heartfelt note slipped into her notebook before she finally agreed. Friendship with Chidi was like discovering a new world. He introduced her to music she had never heard, took her to poetry readings on campus, and made her laugh till her ribs hurt. Slowly her circle widened. Her quiet life was replaced with shared lunches, movie nights at the Student Union building, and weekend strolls through campus. Soon, what started as friendship became more. One rainy evening, under the shade of the mango tree near the Faculty of Education, Chidi reached for her hand and said, "I think I've been in love with you since the day you brushed me off." Amara's heart thumped wildly. She couldn't stop the smile that crept up her lips. "Then you're stubborn because I was really harsh." "I'm not giving up," he whispered, and she let him in. Their love became the stuff of campus gossip. They were always together, in lecture halls, at the cafeteria, at departmental events. Chidi's affection was evident. He carried her books, walked her to class, bought her suya on late study nights, and often waited outside her hostel with her favorite zobo drink. Girls on campus whispered. Some called Amara lucky, others called her manipulative. Boys warned Chidi that he was losing his edge, becoming too soft. But Chidi didn't care. "You're the peace I never knew I needed," he once told her, brushing a strand of hair from her face. She loved him deeply, and she wasn't afraid to show it. Then, without warning, everything changed. It started subtly: unanswered texts, missed calls, postponed plans. Whispers began to circulate that Chidi had been seen around campus with a younger girl, a bright-eyed first-year student from sociology. At first, Amara didn't believe it, but soon the evidence became too glaring to ignore. She saw them once, laughing at Mama Nkechi's canteen, sharing a plate of jollof rice, the same way she and Chidi used to. That broke her into smithereens. The betrayal cut deep, not just because of the new girl, but because Chidi hadn't even had the courage to tell her the truth. Amara tried to understand. Exams were around the corner. Maybe he was overwhelmed. but then he began avoiding her altogether. When she finally confronted him after a tense lecture day, he simply said, "I think we should take a break. I need to focus on myself." She blinked in disbelief. "After everything we've shared, Chidi," he didn't offer further explanation. He just walked away. Amara was shattered. Nights were sleepless. Her roommates tried to console her, but their words barely registered. Her world, once colorful with love, had turned a dull gray. Weeks turned to months. She buried herself in academics, refused to attend social events, and avoided places that reminded her of him. But his ghost lingered. In every song on the radio, every late night knock on her hostel door that wasn't his. Chidi too wasn't himself. He smiled less, partied less, and his grades began to dip. He thought the break would help him focus, but all he could think about was Amara, her laughter, her patience, the way she always knew when he needed encouragement. He tried to text, she ignored. He showed up at her hostel. She refused to come out. He sent gifts. They returned unopened. It was during their final year dinner that they met again. Properly. She walked in, regal in a flowing red dress, and the room turned. Chidi's breath caught. She smiled politely when their eyes met, but her smile didn't reach her eyes. After the event, he approached her outside. "Amara, please, let me explain." She turned, tears threatening. "You broke me, Chidi. You didn't just leave, you abandoned everything we built." "I was scared," he confessed. "I thought I was losing myself, but I realize now that losing you was losing myself." She shook her head, voice trembling. "I loved you more than I thought possible, and maybe I still do. But love is not enough when trust is broken." He reached for her hand. She let him, but only for a second. Graduation came with mixed emotions. Families beamed with pride. Friends took pictures, and the future beckoned. Amara and Chidi were cordial but distant. He tried once more, months after NYSC began. He traveled to Enugu, waited outside her aunt's house. When she stepped out, he said simply, "I'll wait as long as it takes." She looked at him, tears glistening. "Some things don't come back, Chidi, even if they try." He nodded, heart heavy. "Then I'll cherish what we had, when love was ours." And with that, he walked away. Amara stood there for a long time, remembering every smile, every kiss, every rainy evening under the mango tree. She would always love him, but some wounds need more than love to heal. And sometimes the bravest thing love can do is let go.